GATV family, what's good? What's good? It's your boy Gravitating Away, and I got a crazy one for y'all. Now, once again, every time I hear about foolishness going on in Chicago, and not saying that it only goes on in Chicago, because I've had my fair share of watching circus shows, but every time I hear about things going on in Chicago, I'm so happy I decided to leave and I ain't had any of my children over there. But we're about to play a clip, man. You get a bozo that Donkey Kong punch a woman. So from the optics, you know, he already wrong off bat. There's nothing you can tell me about dude punching a woman. I don't care, she black, white, whatever. Just punched her, cock back, and lean into her jaw. But I'm about to play this clip because I'm just hearing everything going viral about this stuff. I didn't want to react to it, but I felt like I had to after I heard all of the details. And I thought it was just a wrong done by the brother over there till I got all the details. And essentially, this is a lose-lose situation. I really hope the 14-year-old son gets freed because he only did what he knew and that most of us would have done. Because let me see that, man. Let me see that happen to my mom. But long story short, man, let's go ahead and play this clip so we can get a better evaluation.
Set at $3 million for the 35-year-old West Pullman mother who, according to prosecutors, got into a fierce verbal argument with a Southside restaurant patron. This was Sunday night while they were waiting in line for food. The situation quickly escalating into a deadly encounter.
During that altercation, the defendant began texting her son.
Cook County prosecutors describing how Carlisha Hood summoned her 14-year-old son who was out in the parking lot late Sunday night at this Maxwell Street Express restaurant at 116th and South Halstead, and then things started heating up.
The argument between the victim and the defendant turned physical when the victim punched the defendant in the head approximately 3 times.
The store served.
Golly. Hey, anybody out there that feels sorry for that joker, man, like, you a born loser, your seed's gonna be a loser. There ain't no defending that dude, man. There ain't no defending him, man.
Surveillance video capturing the moment the 14-year-old sees his mother getting punched, investigators say, and that's when the teen allegedly pulls a gun from his pocket.
The co-defendant fired a shot at the victim inside of Maxwell, striking the victim in the back. As the victim fled, the co-defendant...
Bravo, little homie. Bravo.
...followed him and fired additional...
Your mom's still a wild beast, but bravo, you did what you were supposed to do. Tie some of these cockroaches, man. You did what you were supposed to do, bro. Hey, real quick, man, listen, brothers. If it's not your mama, your aunt, your sister, your daughter, don't be out here in the streets arguing with these wild-ass women, man. I don't care if she was in the wrong, man. You don't argue with these wild-ass women in the streets. Do you know how many black bodies have been laid 6 feet under because of their famous ratchet black mouths? Do not argue with these wild-ass women in the street, man. Come on now.
Shots. The defendant instructed her son, the co-defendant, to continue to shoot and kill the victim.
The 35-year-old Hood, according to prosecutors, ordering her son to shoot another restaurant patron who thought...
Look how calmly she's walking away. This late, the way she ate those Donkey Kong punches, she's been conditioned out here, man. She had her fair share of brawling it out with a bunch of Pookies and Ray Rays. I can assure you of that. She walking out of there like, yo, business as usual.
Thought the initial verbal dispute was funny, but the teen wrestling the gun away from his mother. And thankfully, no more shots fired, but the damage was done. The 32-year-old male victim succumbing to his injuries. Mother and...
As you should, you fuck. You lose it. As you should. You should expire, bro. You literally cock back on a woman. I don't care how wild she is, bro. Let her touch you first, at least. Damn.
son now...
Y'all be looking so feminine doing that shit too, man. Y'all be looking so wild just going back and forth with a woman you have no ties to. Let her sit there and look dumb as hell in front of everybody, man.
Facing first-degree murder charges and a host of other offenses. We'll have more coming up at 6 o'clock. At the Criminal Courts Building, Julian Cruz, WGN News.
All right, so real quick, man. I in no way, shape, or form am advocating for the deceased brother to be viewed as some type of guy that's a victim. He got everything that was coming to him. I would dare y'all debate me on why he's not wrong. Now, in saying that, I'm about to come into some murky waters here with my opinions. Now, initially, when I first heard about this stuff, I just saw a video on World Star that I showed in the beginning of homeboy cocking back and knocking this. Well, he couldn't even knock the woman out, but that looked like some power punches, man. So I already knew homeboy is wrong. But the overall picture that I got from listening to this, and then I just watched another video earlier, this lady was just going back and forth with this man. He's literally telling her, keep talking to me, I'm about to do something. And that famous black woman pride, she couldn't resist. It's like you poke a button and they just amp it up more. She just amps up even more. And just as Buddy said he would, he gave her, well, the news said 3 Donkey Kong punches. Now, tell me she's not a wild hippo, because she ate that. That's why she was rapping like that. She's used to them bras with them pookies, I'm telling you. A lot of you black women, man, your mouths has caused so much detriment. And unfortunately, a 14-year-old boy who has to be the representative of a husband or boyfriend, because clearly this woman ain't got no man. She's out at 11 o'clock at night in Chicago's South Side, arguing at some rinky-dink place to eat with a brother clearly ain't got his mind right. Clearly ain't got his mind right. That woman had no fear, y'all. A lot of these black women ain't got no fear until it's too late. I'm not co-signing a brother hitting the woman, but what I'm saying is the predicament not only that you find yourselves in, but you bring the loved ones who are males in your family in. I'll say this, it's a representation of what your wild behavior allows to happen, and unfortunately brings other people that had nothing to do with it into this foray, because you got a 14-year-old boy sitting in his mother's car. Mother gets into a wild confrontation with some wild dude, and you can tell it's not her first rodeo. She proceeds this is before the punch now. She proceeds to text this little boy to bring her gun out the car and come into the store. As he's walking in, he proceeds to see his mother being Donkey Kong punched. He did what any of us would have done at any age of sense. He knew, because let me tell y'all something, man. Them hard punches, had it been another broad that wasn't such a beast like that woman was, I'm telling you, those punches can be fatal. Because homeboy caught back. But in the prism of it all, you got to look at it in all angles. So in the prism of it all, we could easily just throw everything, all our weights of anger, frustration, and opinions on this dumbass dude over here who's going back and forth with the woman. But it would not tell the whole story. And that's the thing, man. A lot of you liberal-minded people, you just say, oh, poor woman getting hurt. Nah, that's not what I saw. I saw a representative of all you ratchet-ass women out here that thinks it's cool to be going back and forth with some man that has no ties to you. Understand, people out here are frustrated with inflation. You don't know what they got going in their personal lives. Long story short, motherfuckers will kill you out here. Motherfuckers will kill you out here. You can tell she wasn't raised properly. Ain't nobody checked that mouth. There was no man to represent her but her 14-year-old son. And a lot of you black women put your sons in these situations. Now, our prayers should be for that boy to be released. You don't know if he has a juvenile record. You don't know what. For all we know, he's a good kid. But that's trauma, watching your mom get done like that. Then according to reports, there were people in there not helping, which I wouldn't either. I'm minding my business. But there were people not only not helping, but laughing at the matter. This boy is traumatized watching this, and he got that piece on him. That's Chicago. Let me tell you something right now. They trained, man. They know what's up. Mama carrying a gun like that? You think she ain't show that boy how to use that? Or be familiar with that? If you watch the way that boy's gesture was, that boy knew how to use that gun, man, and he did what he was supposed to do. I'm not gonna talk about this long because it's viral. I'm sure y'all gonna go ahead and get other people's perspectives, as you should, so you can really watch the lack of accountability in the community, because you're gonna see everybody totally dismiss what the woman done and worry about that other wild Pookie that, you know, essentially, that's what you don't want to do, man. Go back and forth with a beast like that. I would have left her where she was at, ordered my food, laugh at her. I would have just laughed at her. What can I do with that? That's an animal. And I'm making no apologies about it. Those of us that are in these communities, you know what I'm talking about. That mouth of them. Now, here's the real question. How many of you brothers will lay your life down for a woman like that? I'm not talking about the 14-year-old kid that protected his mother. I'm talking about if you was a man and your woman was there and you watching her argue with a man, a lot of you, your first reaction is to go check old boy. But what I would want is your first reaction is check your old lady and tell her, bring her black ass in her car. Get the fuck out of the store. You already got this into a very tense situation. Get your ass out of there. But they just want to run their mouths. They just want to keep running their mouths. Now this young man possibly just ruined his life for his mother. But again, man, shout out the old boy, man. I ain't mad at the young man, but this really pissed me off because I watch it. You watch these girls act like that from kindergarten to 50 and up. They just running their mouth. There's no more modesty. There's no more class. There's no more proper bearing of a lady, being ladylike, feminine. They're aggressive as hell because homegirl ate them hits like a hippo, man. That's a wild beast, man. That's what's being produced out here in these streets. And mind you, the key thing before we get out of here, there was no man with her. Just her 14-year-old son going out to some rinky-dink restaurant, Southside Chicago, might I add, at 11 o'clock at night. So much recipes for disaster there. I mean, y'all probably gonna have your own opinion, but this is mine. I don't apologize for it. I'm living proof of it because I watch this every day, every time. But look, man, like, share, comment, subscribe. Whatever you do, keep coming back. Or better yet, whatever you do, don't be like these folks. That was a lose-lose situation. Homeboy was dead ass wrong, and the mom was definitely wrong. They all was wrong. This is a problem in the black community. Lack of accountability, emotional ass men. Homeboy was definitely emotional. I would hate to think what he do to his girlfriend, because they said he had a girlfriend over there with him. If he could do that to a stranger, imagine what he does to his girlfriend. I'm just saying, emotional men, little boy husbands like the 14-year-old was, because there was no other man to represent the woman, and beast-like women in our neighborhood. Now, I don't rock with Tommy Sotomayor, but I know he's drooling over this story, because I can't even fault him if he say things that y'all don't like. These are beasts out here. What are you going, how you going to fix that? Man, lock that bitch up. Sorry. Keep her in jail, man, because women like that cause so many deaths in our communities. And y'all just don't understand what I'm saying. You're probably seeing the vulgarity of how I'm saying this, but I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Because of all that foolishness, one emotional man is dead the way he was supposed to be. And then you got a hippo just ruined the life of her son. Hopefully everything works out for him, but from the optics, it looks bad, you know? I'ma holla at y'all, man. Man, our community is jacked up, yo.
If it's love, I want everything. Touch my soul, touch my heart, don't judge my mental. They told me that life is simple, been real since Papa Pimple. I started out in the rental, sonata, the presidential. Speak once and listen twice, they told me that less is simple.